Welcome back to another post-match show following West Ham's abysmal performance that saw Everton taking the points against us by a score of 1-0. As always, I'm your host, Chris, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Irish Tommy. Mate, do I even need to ask?
No, just lucky there's not a bridge anywhere near my house. I would fucking jump off it.
I'm right there with you.
That was, you can hold my hand on the way down, Chris. Fucking hell, man. That was abysmal.
Yeah.
Absolutely abysmal. And there's no excuse for it.
So, we'll get into this here in a minute.
Begins.
Yeah, it really does begin.
Justin straight in there.
Yeah. For those of you who somehow have missed it, West Ham lose to Everton by a score of 1-0. It is now 7 matches into the season. We have 4 points. We are sitting in relegation zone going into the international break. I've seen some stats. We've won 2 matches, I believe it is now, in the Premier League in our last 14, and have only kept, I believe, 5 clean sheets in the last 10 months. Something has to change here. Something has to change.
Something has to change, and quickly. And if it's not going to be Moyes, then it is, and his tactics and stuff, then it will be Moyes that gets changed.
Yeah, but like I said, 2 wins in 14 matches spanning over the course of the season. If that is in middle of the season, that manager's gone.
Yeah, I mean, we've been horrible in this calendar year.
Yeah.
Well, after Christmas, we were absolutely terrible. 7th actually was a poor finish in the end. We should have finished higher than that, comfortably.
Given the start to the last season, yeah.
Yeah, the wheels have come off for Moyes, and there's no excuse for him whatsoever. I mean, if you look at the squad of players he's got and the way we're performing.
And the old kind of excuses that we could use, and I mean rightful excuses, like with regards to like Slaven Bilic, like not being backed, Pellegrini not being back in the second summer. Moyes has gotten everything he wanted. I mean, how much money has the board poured into this club this summer? I mean, we have higher quality players than we did last season. We have more players than we did last season. So the fixed, and we've gone through a season now with the congestion, or the fixture congestion. So we can't blame fatigue. So there's only one of 2 things. Either these players are actually shocking and last season was a fluke, or it's Moyes.
No, it's Moyes. I mean, 180 odd million spent in the summer. We've got a really good squad in Premier League terms. And for us to be down where we are, playing like we are, losing the games that we're losing like today, Everton are not a very good side.
And they look like a top side compared to us today.
Yeah, Everton are not a very good side, and despite Frank Lampard running around the stadium like they just won the cup, like a fucking idiot after the game, they're not that good a side. They were there for the taking, and the fact is that Begovic had very little to do. Corney brought one really good save out of him, but other than that, I think we had 3 headers on target.
Post,
all of them were from range. All really comfortable saves for him that were never going in. Like I say, it was only Moyes reacting far too late to the situation and deciding, it might be an idea to try and score some goals today.
And then on top of that, too, making the incorrect decision, taking Antonio off and not Bowen.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, we can start at the start, I guess. I mean, the starting 11 was just depressing, frankly.
Let me go in on this real quick, because I am so fucking tired of seeing 3 names on the team sheet right now. Cresswell, Souček, Soufal. Those 3 should not. Bowen, you can make an argument. He had some decent moments today, but overall he has not been playing well this season. So you can make the clear argument to bench him. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Souček is the passenger. He doesn't affect games. He sucks. Soufal, he can't do anything right. And then Cresswell just doesn't have the pace. Why did we sign Emerson just to continue putting Cresswell out there?
Well, the question should be put to David Moyes. Only he knows the answer to those questions. You're absolutely correct. I mean, Moyes keeps playing the same old
But
players.
overall this
They're
season, I
doing it.
mean, he just doesn't have the pace anymore. He doesn't have his legs about him anymore. I mean, he's getting blown past him constantly.
Yeah,
That's what I mean, Greg.
Yeah, well, I accept from Greg that Cresswell wasn't our biggest issue today.
Yeah.
But absolutely agree on Souček. He was absolutely awful today. I mean, when I saw the lineup, I just thought, oh, for crying out loud. I feared for what was going to happen today when I saw the lineup. It's the fucking same old, same old. Souček's form is horrible. Bowen's form is horrible. Why are you playing Fornals? There are certain games when I can understand from a tactical point of view that Fornals might play. Today was not one of them.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a day against a bang average team who are struggling with a not great manager who are there for the taking. When you look at the two squads of players, ours is much better. We have much better strength and depth. And Moyes still puts out the same fucking dross. Yeah. You know, and he deserves the sack if he gets it. I don't think he'll be sacked after this result, but if he did,
they're close. It's coming close. I mean, questions have to start being asked. But one thing that I want to go back to, like, I know you've said this time and again, with regards to just throwing the same starting 11 out there, they have our strategy fixed. I mean, they know exactly what we're going to do. We're so predictable. And when you're getting out coached by Frank fucking Lampard, that's a problem.
Yeah, and I think Moyes is teetering on the brink now. And it's not just our form at the beginning of the season. This is going back further than that. And I think the European run last season papered over a lot of the cracks. I think we were very forgiving when it came to our poor results in the Premier League. We gave him a little bit of a buy because we're saying, okay, you know, he's resting certain players and he wants to kind of really go for it in Europa League. Fine, okay. But he has no such excuse at the beginning of this season. Absolutely
none. We gave up 2 goals to Silkeborg on Thursday.
Yeah, even that
we barely won that.
Yeah, even that was really poor from David Moyes against Silkeborg. We should be walking past a team like that with the quality we've got. And, you know, again, like, it's just the lack of attacking intent from Moyes. I was on earlier today on West Ham Network when the team came out, and I was really worried. And I said it on that show. I said, looking at this front four, it's completely wrong. It's completely wrong. I just don't see where the goals are going to come from today. I just don't see where we score from.
No,
and that turned out to be the case. Another game where we haven't really threatened the goal nearly as much as we could and should.
Yeah, I mean, we were awful.
It was only when we had some of the players on that should have been on from the start.
Yeah, we were awful going forward.
And Rama, both of whom went close. Yeah. And, you know, you just wonder if Moyes learns. Is he capable of learning and realizing what he's doing? I mean, like, Souček starting. I agree with Sofel, by the way. I think I'm done with Sofel now as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can do.
We've got centre backs fit now. You know, I would.
If Johnson's healthy next match, Johnson starts. He's one of the first names on the team sheet. I don't want to see Sofel anywhere.
I would get Sofel out of there regardless. I would get Kehrer over to right back at this point.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that too.
Kehrer plays right back a lot for Germany. He knows that position. He's played it plenty of times. I would move Kehrer over to right back now and drop Sofel.
I mean, anything is better than
Dawson or Ogbonna into centre back. Probably Dawson at this point. I think he's ahead of Ogbonna at the moment. Because we can't keep playing Sofel. Just can't do it. Souček has got to be dropped. Simple as.
Yeah,
I would give Downs his chance now.
Yeah, I don't know why we bring in a player like Flynn Downs. The only thing I can think of is Moyes is like, oh, it's good cover. We give him a chance in the Conference League. He's man of the match. He looks incredible, and he hasn't seen the pitch since.
Like, yeah, I refuse to believe that Downs should be considered as cover for Souček at this point.
Oh, I mean, you can't do any worse with putting Flynn Downs in there.
You're seriously telling me Downs is going to come on and be worse than Souček?
Exactly. I mean, there's no way to possibly be worse than Souček in that position.
No, and I can't believe Bowen is still starting games.
Yeah,
I really
he
can't.
he needs a benching. Just I the
Moyes has got to flip the script.
unless you get a
Those
call from like Southgate or something saying I need him to start so that way he's match fit for.
fuck Southgate.
Yeah, that's the only way I can see that him still being there.
International managers don't do that. They don't tell club managers who to play.
To be fair to Bone too, I have no idea how the hell he got a call up based on his performances this season. I am astounded by that.
Yeah,
I mean, good for him, but I am astounded.
yeah, he's been dog shit. And the thing is, it's how does Moyes not see this? It's astonishing he doesn't see it.
Yeah,
Astonishing. I mean, like in the team I had dropped Bowen. Like my front four looked a lot different. I actually had dropped Bowen. I had put because Antonio I think is actually in quite good form and playing well. He just doesn't score many goals, but he still has a lot to his game. I had Antonio back out on the right wing where he belongs.
I'd love to see him on the right wing. I really would.
And I had Paqueta in the centre and I had Cornet out left. Now, if you could swap out Cornet for Benrahma if you want, I'm fine with that. And then I had Scamacca up top. And I'm thinking that's attacking intent.
That's a dangerous attacking front.
Yeah, that's a dangerous front four that has goals in it. You know? But Moyes is just, I mean, even against fucking Everton, he comes out with the same cagey, negative approach.
Yeah, I mean, we invited way too much pressure. I mean, we really couldn't get the ball out of our own half for a lot of the match, it felt like. And when we did, it was like for 30 seconds, except for the 16 corners we got or whatever it was. I mean...
Yeah, and we've stopped threatening from corners now as well.
Yeah, I mean, we have all the height in the world, and our corners and set pieces are just terrible. They had fucking Soufal taking a free kick. I can't remember how far out it is, and he like almost put it out for a throw.
Yeah, I don't know it's bizarre. I think we had about 3 different people taking corners today. I think Cresswell took some, and fucking Soufal took some, and
it looks like we're like still in preseason, like we don't know what the fuck we're doing, and who's going to be doing what their assignments are, and we're 7 matches into the season now.
Yeah, and I mean,
and that's terrifying.
Yeah, Moyes, like I say, I think is, when you have a board who plow that much money into a team and back a manager to that extent, and now with the international break, they're looking at that table, and we were in that bottom 3, and we were horrible today. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I can't think of a single point of our game where we were actually good at.
Well, I thought defensively we did quite well, to be fair. I thought Kerr and Zuma were very solid.
Yeah,
to be fair, in fairness, because because Everton are not a great team, we kind of got away with a lot.
If there was any other team, that would have been a 4-0.
Fabianski didn't have a lot to do. Let's be fair. Fabianski wasn't troubled too much.
The goal by Mapai was insane. Like, that was a great goal.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lovely finish from Maupay. You have to say, an excellent finish. But yeah, I mean, we defended pretty well. We weren't under the cautious in that regard. We weren't struggling defending. I thought Kerr was really good again today.
He's turned out to be a good buy.
He's turned out to be an absolute bargain, yeah. And but it's just going forward. We offered absolutely nothing. I mean, some of the passing. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Soufal, Souček, Fornals, while he was on, some of the passing was even Bowen at times, some of the passing was absolutely shocking.
No, yeah. I've noticed that most of this season. All right, we can't complete a simple pass. Like, it's always going to be a challenge.
Yeah, the amount of times we give the ball away. I felt bad, actually, today for Paqueta and Antonio. They were so isolated.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever the ball went to either one of them.
Yeah, it was almost harsh to take off Paqueta because it wasn't like he had a bad match. It's just he couldn't get into the match.
Yeah, he had no chance of getting into the match. There was no interplay that he could get involved in. There was no one running off him. It was impossible almost for Paqueta. It was impossible for Antonio. I mean, Antonio, we could have played with that starting 11. We could still be playing. Antonio still wouldn't have been given an opportunity to score by anybody.
We could play that match for 24 hours and we wouldn't have scored.
No, and it was this was beyond poor. I mean, it was easily, I think, our worst performance of the season. It was genuinely pathetic.
Yeah.
It was genuinely pathetic. And it's going to happen now. Like, the talk is going to be now, Moyes in or out. Like, and the chorus now from fans, I think, for him to get growing. It's going to grow. The amount of people who are just flat out want Moyes out now is going to grow probably substantially. And I think now an awful lot of people who were still, give it time, are now, I think, really teetering on whether or not they want him gone, and they're going to have a long think about it. And I'm one of those people that's really, really teetering now.
Yeah. Let me ask you then, what is your breaking point? Like, the next match, obviously, we have is October 1st against Wolves. Following that, we have a group stage match against Anderlecht, and then we are home to Fulham. And that is in the span of 8 days, October 1st through the 9th. How much leniency do you give? What is your breaking point? What is it to where you say Moyes has to go?
We lose at Molineux when I'm there. If he puts out this team, if he puts out the team like this again, and we play really poorly and lose at Wolves, get completely outplayed, that's me. That's me saying, okay, you've had another 2 fucking weeks after that horror show at Everton on the training ground with a lot of the players working on things. You've had a chance to change it around, and you haven't done it, and we still look horrible. That, for me, is the point. I don't want him in charge at home to Fulham if we lose at Molineux, because we'll probably fucking lose at home to Fulham.
Yeah.
I want a new manager in place for that game, and I want the manager lined up before the final whistle goes at Molineux if we lose that game.
I completely agree with you. I'm at the end of my leash with Moyes as well. He needs to, him to regain any sort of confidence with the fan base, he has to change up tactics. He has to put in new players, and he has to go, or him and West Ham have to go to Wolves and just absolutely smash them. I'm talking probably 3-4.
He needs to stop being scared of every fucking team we play. Every week he goes out fucking scared of everybody. We're better than a lot of the teams
Greg,
we
I'll
play.
get you another question in a second too.
Greg wants him out. So, Greg, does that mean if we lose at Molineux and get a draw at home to Fulham, he stays?
That's a good question, though. But also, who would we get as manager if Moyes does go? I mean, there's a lot of managers out there. I mean,
I'd like Pochettino, actually. I like Pochettino.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are like talking about how he wouldn't come to West Ham, but at the same time, I mean, it's a London-based club in Europa Conference League with high-quality players with a board that is just invested. I mean, it's a good project to take.
Yeah.
I mean, unless
I suppose look, the 2 names that jump off the page are Maurizio Pochettino and Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, and Tuchel want to come back into London.
They're both very familiar with the Premier League. I do think Tuchel is a good manager. I just think
he was in my opinion, he was wrongly fired. So that'd be interesting to see if he'd be interested to come in.
Yeah, Tuchel was only fired because he had a falling out with the new owner.
Bad blood with the new owner. So that'd be interesting to see if he'd be interested. I
think Tuchel would. I think Tuchel would love a project like West Ham. He'd look at the squad and say, because look, managers have egos. Yeah. They all do. Like, if you were to put it to Tuchel, he'd be well paid. Obviously, we've got the money to pay him well. If you put it to Tuchel to come into West Ham, I think he absolutely would. I think he would look at that squad of players and think,
I mean, that's what's really insane about this squad. We have one of the most talented squads in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And it's just consistently underperforming. And when it comes down to that, it has to be the manager. It has to be the tactics, anything.
It is Moyes, 100%. It's Moyes. Is it Moyes' fault that certain players are out of form? No. Is it his fault that he keeps playing them? Yes. Is it his fault that he leaves 140 million pounds worth of attacking talent sitting on the bench? Yes, it is.
Oh my god. I didn't even consider something like that, but yeah, I mean, Skamaka, what does he have to do to buy a Premier League start?
It's
What does
ridiculous.
Cornet have to do?
I tell you what, Skamaka only joined in the summer. We're only 7 or 8 games in the Premier League.
He's not adapted yet. Yeah.
He's already, it seems to me, from what I can see, managed to piss Skamaka off.
Yeah.
Skamaka looks unbelievably frustrated. Unbelievably frustrated. And I don't blame him. I really don't.
And I think what you said with regards to what your team would have been, putting Skamaka up front and Antonio out on the right wing. I mean, that's settles it. I mean, Bowen gets like kind of a kick in the ass, like, hey, you need to get better.
Yeah.
And
I do agree with Cresswell as well. But yeah, I do agree with Cresswell as well, by the way. I had Emerson starting in my team. So I think the likes of Cresswell, Sofel, Soucek, Bowen should all now switch to Conference League. They're Conference League players until they sort their fucking selves out. For me. And I include Fornells actually in that. I think the likes of
14 corners actually. I was jokingly saying 16 earlier. Was it actually 14 corners, Tony?
Yeah, we had loads of corners.
I didn't think it was that many. Jesus.
Yeah, there was a period.
I'm not gonna blame Fabianski for that goal. That was an incredible goal. Fabianski couldn't recover for it. Other than that,
ignore him.
Yeah,
get out of the chat, Tim. We know Tim hates goalkeepers. Hates them with a passion.
I mean, I would like to see Areola play more, but I can't fault Fabianski for that.
No, I think Kerr did the right thing. You could see where Kerr was blocking off the shot to the far post, which would have been, the open part of the goal. He just wanted to make sure Maupay couldn't shoot to the far post, so he did that well. And I don't think he expected Maupay to be able to beat Fabianski at the near post. So to be fair to Tim there, actually, I'm going to have to go back and have another look at that and just check on Fabianski's positioning for their goal, just to see if he maybe should have been a bit closer to that near post. But overall, I don't think today's defeat was on a keeper. Let's put it that way.
No, I agree.
I think it was down to Moyes. The formation was okay. It was just the players on the pitch were completely wrong. And I said it before the game. I said I just don't see where a goal's coming from today with that team that Moyes has put out. It was shocking.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, I touched on it earlier, and I just want to kind of finish the point. We got off track on it, but I would not feel sorry for Moyes if I go back on Twitter here in a while or tomorrow and I see that Moyes has gotten the boot. I will not feel bad either. I will not feel bad for him.
He's led to his own demise.
He has made a rod for his own back. So like if you're the board and you've plowed that much money into the team and you've built that kind of squad for your manager and you're looking at that table and seeing where we are, you are not going to be happy. Like anybody would be like that, Chris. If you have anybody working for you and you give them a bunch of money to complete some kind of project and they are absolutely making a fucking balls of it, you will not be slow in getting them off it.
No, not at all.
Out of there. People do not like their money being wasted.
And that's why we're talking about this. I mean, we kind of had like you said earlier, the run at the Europa League last year papered over the cracks of how bad Moyes actually has been lately. Again, 2 wins in 14 matches. That is relegation form. That is a manager fired if it's mid-season or the first 14 matches of the season. They wouldn't even get that far. But because it was at the end of the season into a new season, he's fine for now. He has, in my opinion, even if we come out and batter Wolves, I think he has to go. I really do.
No, I think if we come out and batter Wolves and play really well, then I think, obviously he won't get the sack at that point. I think he'll be given. If he's there for the Wolves game, obviously he's being given the chance to turn it around. But
I
think
like this point though too from Epic Hash.
It's a fair point. I mean, look, I don't know how the board are feeling. He might be on the brink of the sack, or he might be nowhere near the sack. I just don't know. We don't know what the board are thinking. We don't know what conversations are going on behind closed doors. But it's a fair point. It's a fair point. So who was it said that? Oh, Epic. Yeah, it's a fair point from Epic, because if the board are teetering,
this is the moment. I mean,
if
you're gonna pull the trigger and you want to have success this season or a chance at success, this is the moment. Get the new manager in, get him acquainted to his surroundings, get him acquainted to his players, the players acquainted to him, and then when they come back from international play, they just slot right in.
Yeah, so like basically, if I'm on the board now, or let's say I'm David Sullivan, whoever, and Kretinsky, we've had that chat and we think he needs to go, I'd be on the phone this evening talking to whoever it is, whether they want Pochettino or Tuchel, or maybe they'd like to. I wouldn't mind nicking Thomas Frank from Brentford. I really like his style of play. I would be making those phone calls this evening. I really would. And I would be saying, okay, let's say they like Tuchel. And they say, right, he's just gone from Chelsea. He knows the Premier League. We think Tuchel can do a really good job with this squad of players.
And I think he could.
I'd be on the phone this evening feeling him out. And if he says, I'm very interested, that's when I would start talking to them about, okay, what kind of money we're talking here, like contract-wise.
Yeah.
If it looks like we can get him in, I would pull the trigger on Moyes in the morning. And I would have Tuchel in midweek and say, right, you've got time now to work with the team before the next Premier League game away at Wolves. You got a good squad here. But yeah, one of those three I'd love, Chris, if he does go. Thomas Frank intrigues me. I really like the way he plays with Brentford. I love their style of play. It's proper football, He always has them set up well. They look really well organised. And they attack in numbers. They get players into the box, and he's
the
done.
The problem is though, would he leave?
Don't underestimate.
Zone?
Say again.
Would he leave that for a team in the relegation zone?
Would he leave Brentford for West Ham? He'd fucking run across London to find for West Ham. Sure. Yeah, of course he would. Again, Chris, forget the league position. Managers have egos, and he will take one look at that squad. He will take one look at that squad, Thomas Frank, and think, fuck yeah, I can do things with this.
Yeah, and then January probing for Tony.
Yeah. But yeah, one of those three I'd like to see. I'm teetering. I
think I'm
trying not to. Now. I don't want to give an answer now because we've just watched the game and I'm fucking angry and I'm pissed off. And you know how they say don't make decisions when you're angry, right?
The problem is that with West Ham is we've in essence been angry for a month and a half now. We have 4 points in 7 matches, 3 goals in the first 7 matches of the season.
Yeah, I know. It's horrible.
Like, we are on relegation form right now with a £180 million squad while in Europa Conference League.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it a couple of days. Let the dust settle on this. And then I think in a couple of days' time, if I'm still thinking I want him gone, then I'll know that it's not just the anger right after a horrible performance, So I'm going to give myself.
It's been in the back of my mind for the past week or so. So that's why I know, like I'm fully off the cliff.
I was already teetering,
hanging on by a thread onto that cliff.
I'm teetering, really, really teetering, and I might still topple over, in the next couple of days and say, you know what, I do want him out, but I want to mull it over rather than because I'm fucking pissed right now. So I don't want to say something I kind of might reconsider in a couple of days. Yeah, it's scored a goal in the first half of the game. Yeah. And the reason being is because Moyes is so tentative and so cagey and defensive. And we
Yeah, and
saw
he
it
brings on our best attacking players at the
he
60th minute.
waits, yeah. He
You can't
waits
score in the
until
first half when your
yeah,
best players are on the bench.
he waits until we're in trouble and then decides, fuck it, maybe I should put some players in who might score a goal. It's fucking bizarre behavior. Even I mean, Chris, I swear to God, I could not believe we came out for the second half with the same 11. Could not fucking believe it.
Moyes, he doesn't like substitutions. He can use 5 now, and he still only uses 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's how did he send that same team out at halftime? What the fuck was he looking at that he thought, yeah, this is okay?
Yeah, I can understand like if you want to keep some reserve, but still, I mean, I would have made 2 or 3 changes at halftime right away. To be fair,
Yeah,
though,
I mean,
that half of that squad I didn't even want out there to begin with, but
yeah,
that's another matter.
yeah. He had an opportunity at halftime to rectify his fuck up because
But
it
he
was
doesn't
still
think it's a fuck up. That's the problem.
yeah,
He thinks that it's good tactics, and
yeah,
it hasn't worked.
it was still 0-0. He could have
And then,
rectified it.
and then again, it's like for like substitutions.
Yeah,
He doesn't change. He can't adjust mid game.
no, it's actually it's shocking. Like the more you talk about it, it's kind of more unbelievable it gets. Really,
Yeah.
yeah. I couldn't believe there was no changes at halftime. I'm like, how do you not make at least 2 and probably 3 substitutions at the break?
Yeah.
I'd have made 3. Well, I wouldn't have started that bullshit team, but I'd have made 3 subs at halftime. No
and
problem. I wouldn't have hesitated.
yeah. What is that profile picture? Oh my god. But you're right. You're right. East side.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's one of the most frustrating things is that when you look at the talent that man has at his disposal, and you think about the potential that's there. You think about the potential that's in that team, and then we have to watch this fucking shit. It's scandalous that we have to watch West Ham playing like that with the players we've got. We can put out a fucking very, very good first 11 and still have a really strong bench.
I mean, two of our linchpins, Declan Rice and Paqueta. Declan Rice was wanted by Chelsea, was wanted by United, is being scouted potentially by City.
Real Madrid.
Yeah. Paqueta was wanted. They had conversations about at City about trying to bring him in before West Ham went and got him. These are high quality players. Scamacca nearly went to PSG. So I just don't want I don't want to hear it that he doesn't have the players. He has more than enough talent surrounding him.
Yeah, this is mismanagement, pure and simple. I mean, it's actually quite shocking.
That was great. But I mean, yeah, it doesn't make sense. It boggles my mind that he cannot get the performances out of this team. And benching Bowen might help bring him back to where he was last year.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll just I'm at my wit's end with this. Today really I'm quite patient. We spoke after the last game, Chris, where I said I would give him more time and because of how well he's done in previous seasons, but today has put me right up to the edge, to be honest. And
yeah, it's pushed me.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done at this point. I have no faith left in Moyes, quite frankly. I really worry about that Wolves game away. Really worry. I know Wolves lost the other day to City. We had a player sent off, but Wolves actually looked really decent against City. The way they play the ball, the way they move it around, they look like a really decent side. And I think under Moyes we go there and get beat. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But for me, I'd still get him out now. Let the new manager come in and have some time. Yeah, this is too. Yeah, he couldn't get anything out of Allaire. Now, granted, it wasn't the system, but I mean, he could have adapted to help Allaire, and Allaire ended up going on to be one of the best in the Champions League. So it's just like he's always surrounded by talent. Imagine a top manager like Thomas Tuchel or Pochettino come in, and they have at their disposal Antonio, they have Scamacca, if they can get him back and forth, Bowen, Cornet, Ben Rama, Paqueta. I mean, that's a top 8 side minimum.
So what the fuck are you doing? Thanks to Eastside, by the way, correcting me there. I keep saying Molyneux were at home to Wolves.
Oh, we are? I thought we were
my point remains, nonetheless, regardless of where we're playing.
I thought we were away. My bad. Thank you, Eastside.
Yeah, but it's Moyes this calendar year, I think, has just been doing a shocking job. And
yeah, as Eastside says, 8 wins in 2022.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, 8 Premier League wins in 2022 in the calendar year absolutely is a sackable offence. It really is. So, if he goes, I have no problem with it. If the board decides to pull the trigger tonight or tomorrow, I'll be like, fine, okay, who are we bringing in?
Yeah, like I'll be just as ready for the new manager. I'll be excited, in fact, like because right now I'm at a position where like every match I'm almost dreading because I know it's going to be the same old shit.
Yeah, I'm just completely sick of Moyes' attitude. I really am. I'm sick of him putting out teams and playing like everybody we play is better than us. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, Eastside, I see more people like slating Fornals, but praising his work rate. Ben Rama, they know. I see a lot more people talking about it as if they know he can do a lot more. They know that he has more potential, and he's just not there yet, and he's not hitting it. So that's why I
don't agree that Fornals is a shite player. I think no, he played very poorly today, but a lot of players played very poorly today. But
yeah.
I just think there are only certain games that I would play Fornals in, and this was not one of them.
Yeah,
I think in a lot of games I wouldn't play him. Like you could have easily, Fornals works his arse off in fairness, but some of his passing today was fucking shocking. But yeah, I understand where he's coming from. Fornals' form as well at the moment is not good, so he should be dropped in my opinion. But I don't think he's a shite player. I think again he's just another one of those players that isn't playing well right now. So he's another player, like I said earlier, that should be Conference League group stage player for us.
I did not see this, Carolina.
Yeah.
If that's the case though, that's even that pissed me off even more.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just generally fucked off now with Moyes. I'm sick of his negativity.
Yeah.
Sick of his inability to go after teams like we're better than them, the way he should be.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of done with it, to be honest, Chris. I'm over it.
Yeah. Well, listen, let's kind of wrap it up here. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we get out of here?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. I think I'm going to go to sleep tonight, kind of hoping that sometime tomorrow I'll just read that Moyes has been sacked. I think I'll probably feel some level of relief.
Yeah, me too, to be quite honest with you.
Because I can't take any more of this shit, man. I just can't. This playing scared against everybody. I mean, it's fucking Silkeborg. You set up scared against fucking Silkeborg. Just fuck off.
And nearly lost us the match too.
See, the more I talk about it, the more angry I get. Now, the more I want him fucking gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, the more I talk about it, like, it's just the more shocking it feels.
Well, listen, I just want to thank you for joining me as always. Listen, everyone, apologies for the lack of shows recently with regards to the Conference League. It's been a combination of a job change for me as well as during the first, as you can hear, a couple weeks ago, I actually came down with strep, and so my voice was absolutely gone.
You're sucking too much dick.
Let's hope not, because that's I don't swing that way. Yeah, so I came down with strep. It's not a pretty time for me. So I'm back now. I still got the cough, so I'll try to mute myself as much as possible until that's gone. Fortunately, we do have the internet.
Yes, we both know you're going to spend like 3 solid hours shouting at your TV.
Oh yeah, yeah. For those of you who don't know, it's NFL Sunday here in America, so I got to go watch my team and stress over them after this one too. So, but yeah, listen, we have the international break on the other side of it. October 1st, we have Wolves at home, as Eastside thankfully corrected us on that. And we'll be right back here for that. So, any final words, Tommy?
No, I think I'm good. We've covered everything, I think.
All right. Well, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Tommy, for joining me as always. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in the chat. And until October 1st, come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.